Okay, it's your boy Oakley, and today we're just gonna be doing yet another My Hero What If. This is what if Sasuke, or what if Deku was the reincarnation of Sasuke. So let's get into it. This would all start off with, Sasuke being put into a genjutsu, and Momo being fucked up, and Itachi versus Sasuke. Right now, just let's get it. So Sasuke would pretty much throw a kick at Itachi. Itachi would catch it, and he would realize how fast and strong that kick was. It even sprained Itachi's hand, but no, that's not what to worry about. So Itachi would throw a kick to Sasuke's ribs. Sasuke would flip out the way, and in mid-air, he would do a fireball jutsu. Then he would body flicker right behind Itachi and try to slice him straight in half. They're going for death blows here, and Itachi would just body flicker, and he would basically just spam run right to Sasuke and start trying to body him too. He would use all types of techniques, like even his Mangekyo Sharingan, and he obviously is not seeing too well. Neither is Sasuke with his Mangekyo, but he can see with his Rinnegan. So he pretty much says he really wants to end this. So he uses Shinra Tensei and a Chidori to try to literally put a hole right through this man's whole stomach. So yeah, it doesn't really work because Itachi would just use substitution jutsu, and Sasuke would just be stuck with a log that he would use to throw right at Itachi. But that's actually the substitute jutsu, and substitute jutsu, pretty much the log would turn into Sasuke, and Sasuke would be charging him with his sword, pretty much, and Sasuke would throw his sword past Itachi, and Itachi says you should never throw your weapon, and Sasuke would just smirk, and he would teleport right through it, and he would just keep on throwing it around Itachi, and Itachi would eventually try to catch it. And that's what Sasuke's plan was. At the last second, Itachi would realize his plan, and he would get kicked right in front, right in the stomach. And right when Itachi's flying back, Sasuke would throw his sword at the wall, or kind of at the wall, kind of at the rocks, and it would teleport right. He would teleport right behind Itachi, forming a Chidori, and about to try to clap Itachi right through the wall. This would not work as much because it's so yeah, it just wouldn't work, and Itachi would just do a flip off of Sasuke's shoulder. It says nice try, and they would pretty much be going at it with hand-to-hand combat. And 30 minutes later, they're trying to use and lose a lot of chakra. Sasuke and Itachi are starting to wore themselves out. If they don't finish this, or somebody doesn't finish this is gonna end truly badly. And midway through this fight, Momo would wake up, seeing Sasuke not in the best shape right now. And she's pretty much just hoping for Sasuke not to die, because she moves, her blood will leak out, and she just might die herself. So what can she do right now? So she's pretty much in her own head. Who do I help? And she would just try to get up with all her might, and pretty much she would pick up her pole and start using it, and she's pretty much pushing herself to the limit of using more speed and strength against Itachi, as she comes out of nowhere and pretty much kicks Itachi in the back, making Itachi go closer to Sasuke. Sasuke would widen his eyes, not realizing it's Momo. As soon as he looks, he would smirk, and he would pretty much body flicker right next to Momo, and he would use a Chidori, and he would pretty much drive it into the ground. As Itachi is getting back up from the kick, about to attack Sasuke, and he notices the girl Momo, and he's like, okay, and that's when he sees her body flicker away, and he's like, oh shit, I have Sasuke and her on me right here. Okay, bet. And Sasuke would be running at him with the Chidori, and he would pretty much be an inch away from Itachi, and Momo would basically push him right to the Chidori, and it would go right through him, pretty much making Momo and Sasuke think that they killed him. But literally a second later, Itachi would say, no, it was a Genjutsu, and that's when it would unrelease, and Itachi would still be standing there well and alive. Itachi would be bleeding from his eye though, and so would Sasuke. Momo not really understanding the Sharingan. She says, well, maybe they just got hit in the face, but she doesn't really know why. And Sasuke uses his Mangekyo to try to put Itachi under a Genjutsu. And he would be looking at Sasuke, and Sasuke would just bleed more blood as he would just use his Mangekyo. So she's like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. And as they both would basically have Itachi, or Sasuke would have Itachi in a Genjutsu, pretty much, he pretty much put him under that Kakashi Genjutsu when he's getting stabbed. Some Sasuke's eyes are a lot stronger than Itachi. Itachi's still a threat, but he's still a lot stronger than Itachi's eyes, because Itachi is kind of getting weak. I'm not gonna cap. So, he's pretty much not doing the best, and Itachi is pretty much getting that Kakashi treatment, getting sword stabbed into him, pretty much taking his chakra while it's happening. So when Itachi uses the rest of his chakra, the little bit of chakra that he has, to release himself from the Genjutsu, he was on the floor puking up blood. And at this point, he doesn't he doesn't have enough chakra. He's basically going blind. He says, "Well," and Momo would just look away as she knows what's about to happen, and Sasuke would just put his hand up and use the thunderclap, the true elite version that is big as shit, and the thunder would go from his hand, go back down to his hand 3 times. And Itachi would look at this power. He would just smirk and says, yes, yes. And Sasuke would basically say, be gone, with the thunderclap. And a thunder dragon would appear, and the Chidori stream would came straight from it, basically blowing Itachi apart. All that remains is Itachi's eyes, which Sasuke would replace with his Mangekyo, earning his true eternal Mangekyo. So yeah. So with Sasuke pretty much being chakra exhausted, him and Momo would fall to the ground. Eventually, they would wake up in a hospital. Sasuke would wake up, and he would just and he would just be breathing. He would just be breathing like heavy, and because he wanted to think that Momo died, because she was moving around, she was losing blood, and she kind of fell out before him. So because he kind of saw that. So Deku is like, oh shit. And well, as he would see, Momo has still got that stab wound, so she's kind of hurt. And he would summon the King of Hell as he has his chakra reserves back, and he would put Momo in there as she's pretty much asleep. So, and when she does wake up, minutes later after she's totally healed, she would see that she would have no scars, just a bloody spot for some reason. She would pretty much clean herself up and pretty much thank Sasuke for helping her out, and dip. Sasuke would go into King of Hell himself just to heal himself too. And he would go around healing other people. I'm pretty sure I'll probably put All Might in the King of Hell to heal his injury, but if I didn't, he did again. And yeah. So other people who got bodied, he would put them in the King of Hell. And as a week later, they would remain going back to school, and they would pretty much be talking about the final exams. The final exams pretty much being where it's students versus heroes, and it's gonna be Sasuke and Momo versus All Might and Aizawa. And this pretty much that's pretty much what's gonna happen. And as Sasuke would just say, yeah, okay, I got a plan to Momo. The plan would be that if we stop time and pretty much take care of Aizawa, and that means we would only have All Might to try to win against. Then we can use Shinra Tensei, or at least I can use Shinra Tensei and pull him towards the exit, pretty much making him leave to win. And that's pretty much what the plan is. But the plan would halfway backfire. They would catch Aizawa, but when the Shinra Tensei when Sasuke would try to use Shinra Tensei to bring All Might closer, All Might would basically come closer and try to attack Sasuke. And Sasuke would have to just do a Chidori and run at All Might, and it's not a strong one. It's just one that can pierce your skin. Can't really go through you, so it's just gonna bring some pain. And that's what he tries to do. And All Might would basically grab his hand and try to slam him, but he would just go into a substitution jutsu. Then the shadow clones of Sasuke would appear, and the substitution jutsu will become Sasuke again and kick All Might. And Momo would pretty much being on the other side of All Might behind him, with him not really noticing about Momo. She ain't gonna get slept on. So Momo is pretty much pulling up on All Might, bodying him, pretty much hitting all of his pretty much what chakra points would do to somebody with no chakra. It would pretty much render that body part useless, and you can't use it instead of just not be able to use chakra. So that's what she's doing with the pole. She's basically just fucking shit up, and literally, she pretty much hits him in the leg, and now he can't use his left leg. So his left leg is totally numb, and he can't use it. He's like, what? And that's when he look at Momo, and he would look at Momo, and he's like, oh shit. Then he would look up, and he would hear this chirping sound. It's like 1,000 birds or something. He would look up, he would see Sasuke with a Rinnegan and a Mangekyo and with a Chidori ready for a fire release. And he's like, shit, I can't move. And he can only try to turn around and take the Chidori to the back. And that's exactly what he does. Pretty much, now that All Might is pretty much hurt to a point where, anybody, when he can't move his leg, and he kind of has a Chidori right through him, then he makes the mistakes of looking Sasuke in the eyes when he turns around. So he's in the Genjutsu. So they immediately win after that. So that's pretty much their win. And, they congratulate themselves to like, yeah, we did it. It was just that easy. We can take out. You can take All Might any day. And pretty much, the rest of them would go as normal. It's just that Bakugo wasn't on Deku's team. So, Sasuke and would pretty much go and watch the other matches and see who would win. Now, and this would pretty much be how it is. And now that they kind of have their hero licenses, they're gonna be going to Night Eye. Sasuke would go to Night Eye, and I don't even know where Momo went, if she even did anything. Oh yeah, she went to that lady, but no, she's not gonna go there no more. She's gonna go with Sasuke. So, along the way of Sasuke, Mirio, and Momo pretty much patrolling the neighborhood, they would see a girl, and she looked scared and actually hurt, being bandaged up on the legs and arms. And that's when they would see Overhaul, and it was like, and Momo would question if that was his daughter or whatever, and Overhaul would just say yes, yes, yes in a weird tone, kind of making it seem even more fake. As Momo and Sasuke are going to attack and try to take initiative and do something correct for a second, Mirio would try to stop them. Mirio would try to stop Momo and Sasuke, and they do stop Momo and Sasuke, and they go back and tell Night Eye, and that's when the plan is fully initiated. And they have the address of where they were, so they pretty much know what's going down. So they called number 1 hero, number 2 hero. They call top 10 heroes. They got a lot of heroes, policemen, and because this is not no coincidence. Because Sasuke always has his Rinnegan out, so Sasuke can basically Sasuke stop time. And now he can stop time for minutes. So he stopped time for like a minute, and he pretty much unwrapped, like the bandages from, Eri, and he would see, she's definitely been cut and bruised, and that doesn't happen like all over your body. So he pretty much knows, and so now there's heroes. There's heroes. And pretty much the whole of UA there. And now with powerhouses like Momo and Sasuke, now we have outcomes like Mirio wouldn't lose his quirk because Eri would not have been there, because Sasuke can literally stop time, take Eri to the police, and come back and be like, yeah, I'm back, time to fuck shit up. And that's pretty much what happens. So Mirio would beat one Overhaul, and without having to lose his quirk, and everything would be all nice and dandy. They would throw the festival, and Sasuke, Momo, and Mirio, they would all be there like, oh yeah, we want to see Eri smile, yeah, season 4 bullshit, yay. And all that would happen, and during the festival, you she's pretty much, now Erie's pretty much happy or whatever. So yeah, and they would pretty much go on with their school lives. That's like the second semester. Damn, they about to graduate. So yeah, they would pretty much go on with their third semester, pretty much being third years, and years later they would become pretty much heroes. Sasuke's just like fucking god, so he would probably just become number one hero, and Momo would just be that good to the point where she would be able to become number two. So it would pretty much end off with Sasuke and Momo getting a happy ending. So does Eri, Mirio, and everybody else except for the villains. And All Might just retired just to retire because he's All Might. He still got healed from the King of Hell, but there's gonna be a time when you're just gonna have to let other people do their thing, and that's what pretty much happens. Bakugo and Todoroki. Todoroki is gonna be the number fourth hero, number third hero actually, and Bakugo's gonna be number fourth. Pretty much always gonna be salty as soon as anybody even brings it up. But if it's anybody lower than him, he's gonna always bring it up. But if it's anybody higher than him, he's not gonna talk at all. So they pretty much live their lives pretty much differently. And the reason why I'm talking still, because this is about to end and I had to fill up some time. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how this is gonna go for what if Deku was the reincarnation of Sasuke, and bye.